I wanted to start out by thanking everybody for showing up and being here to remember our mom today. We don't necessarily have a set schedule with this, so we're kind of playing this by ear. But for starters, again, thank you for being here. And my grandmother is going to say a few words before we get into the thick of it. Thank you, Cole. Nana Banana.
Well, thank you for coming. It's nice seeing all these faces of people who loved my daughter Julie. I loved her very much. This is a picture of my dearest friend. She is Julie's namesake right here. I oh, I'm sorry, but Julie was so smart. I loved her. She was so sweet, and bringing her up was so much fun watching her. And she started reading at 3 years old. And I had an aunt that told me, while you're pregnant, read to her and talk to her and sing and don't forget the classical music. Played that. My Aunt Beth. And I remember reading to her every night, by her bed, and she was always so quiet while I was reading. I think she was studying, and then pretty soon she'd say, "You forgot. You skipped a part," and then I was in the kitchen, and I was washing the dishes, I guess, and she said, "Mom," she's only about 3. She said, "Mom, a man killed his wife in the kitchen." And I go, and I turned around, and she's looking at the Times, pointing with her little finger. And picked her up at preschool once, and the teachers were all hovered around her at preschool, the assistants, the teachers, whatever. I couldn't see her, but she was in there, and they kept giving her a book and get a harder one, and yeah. But and then these over there where the pictures are, the 3 on the top are the one in the middle is Julie at her grandpa's computer room, and I was scared to death of him when I was growing up, but she just took right to him and loved him so much, and it was one of the only people that would go in that computer room with him during parties and stuff, and she loved him so much. He wasn't really a grandpa. He was uncle. I was married to my mother's sister, who was right below his picture on the right. You see my Aunt Beth and Julie. They're a wonderful family on my mother's side, and all Swedes, and wonderful, wonderful family. And I'm half, of course, and I think Lee has some Swede in him. Huh? Yeah, I think he has some Swede in him. Huh? Oh, I've been blessed by Julie, I feel her presence right now, and I love her so much. I have little notes here. Okay. Mother's Day album there. You'll see that she gave that to me. I can't remember if we were in Duarte, California or Monrovia, California when she gave it to me, but it's my treasure. I had to take out the naked baby pictures because, well, I think she wanted it out of the album, so she put it in for me in the Mother's Day. You know, back in the day, I didn't get a naked baby picture, but my sister did on a blanket out in the sun. And I don't know what she did with it. I didn't get one, but what a family! Her nana, my nana, and my family. I believe me, didn't think I was Nana. Nana was amazing. Their Swedish pancakes and we all lived together and all, grew up with the cousins and my Nana, and I miss my Jeannie, my Julie. This picture I miss. The teen years were hard. We won't talk about that, but I did send her to Carolyn Thompson, who I gave writing lessons to my Julie, your namesake, and Carolyn. They took care of her for a while, and she went to my sister in Oregon for a while, and I had another friend. Her name was Kim, and she took her for a while. I just and I think what helped me the most was Prozac for the teen years. Okay, everybody, I love you, and my glasses are fogging up, and my nose is running, and I hope it doesn't bleed like it did the other day when somebody took me to emergency.
You did great, Hellis. You did great. Good job.
My baby was. I loved. I won't cry. I won't. I'm so sorry.
You did great, Alice.
It's okay, Nana.
So proud of you. Good job.
Baby.
At this time, I'd like to open up for some more family members to come speak as you're ready.
Well then, I'm not really good at this sort of thing at the best of times, and this is not one of those. Julie meant a lot to me. She's very important in my life. I've known her for about 20 years now, which is more than half my life, I guess. I could safely say all the best and worst moments of my life directly involved her in some way or another. But it was good. And throughout most of it, she was one of my best friends, and very important to me. She was a very loving mother, and she cared very deeply about people. She could just drop in a new town and have more close friends and grudges than I've had in a lifetime. But she was very passionate about everything. She cared very much for people, and she'd really go out of her way beyond what you normally expect to try to help people out. Sometimes whether they wanted it or not. But she was good, and I think she knew that, and I know she loved all of you guys very much, and she really appreciated having you in her life. But, yeah. Um, yeah, there's too much to say, and there's not enough, and I don't really know how to best go about it. I've tried writing it down, but I couldn't. But, thank you all for coming here, and she would have been glad to see you guys. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you all for coming. I was able to write some words down. It was hard, but there's a guest book over by the memorial table if no one's gotten a chance to sign it. We're also going to we have little notes that we're gonna leave for Mom as like for anyone who wants to say goodbye and just throw them in the fire. I figured it'd be a good therapeutic exercise for those grieving. But here's what I guess I had to say. My mom was one of a kind, smart, caring, strong, and fun to be around. It's been a little over a week now, and this is the longest I've gone without talking to her since I was 10. I didn't get to have a relationship with her when I was young. Didn't even really get the chance to. She tried really hard to, but wasn't able to get me till I was older. As much as I'm angry about losing the 10 years I could have had when I was a kid, I'm more sad about my younger siblings not being able to get them around in their older adult lives. She's always been there for me as long as I've known her. She's even been there for my friends. I feel like I don't have much else I can trust or love as much as I did her. She left me with a list of others I can trust and others who love me. And I love and trust them too, but my connection to them isn't as strong as that to my mom. My last words to her were, "I love you too." She constantly reminded me that she loved me. I didn't get told that by many people growing up, let alone on a regular basis. I read a note about what our ideal world was, and I think she was really close to achieving it. Here's what she wrote. In my ideal world, I'd live somewhere rural and beautiful. I'd have an eccentric home full of love and acceptance, where people would love to drop in. I'd have lots of pets and plants and books and kids and creativity. I'd love and caretake and not have so many worries. I don't think she still had worries, and I think it's impossible to not have worries, but she struggled for a long time, and she constantly tried new things to help her with her depression. There's research all over her apartment trying to find ways to help with it, like green lights, and there's a lot of different things she tried. I think she just ran out of things that worked, and I don't know. I hope she remembered how much she was loved and how much I loved her. That's really all I had to say. I don't know, Gabs, do you want to go next? I know you wanted to say some words. You think he's smoking? All right. Alicia, do you want to go?
He had some very Gavin words to say.
Yeah, he did.
You did really good, Kane. This is a solemn and official declaration. I only have one chance, and I don't want to mess this up. But if I do, please forgive me. I'll keep it short. It doesn't seem fair or possible to capture and encapsulate so many years, thousands of conversations, millions of emotions in only a few minutes. Julie and I became friends when I was 27 years old. And for the record, I'll be 41 in 2 weeks. I always joked with Julie that my friendships were very French in nature. Culturally, the French only have 1 or 2 close friends because they're taken on as family. And Julia was my best friend. We had babies together. We carefully monitored and advised, had dreams, hopes, and aspirations for each other's children. We plotted and conspired together. And many of the things that we did, I'll never speak of to another human being again. I would tell Dan about some of our hijinks, and he would just raise a pointed eyebrow at me. And I would grin and say, "That's what happens when you leave us unsupervised." We laughed a lot. We cried. We threw our hands up in disgust more times than I can count. We wrote angry emails, and we protested injustices. But many times, we just sat and mused about the future. On a mild and clear night, a Saturday in September, you stopped dreaming, Julia. An old and familiar world stopped, and a new and uncertain world began in its place. A world that you're not here to see. And I want to be mad, and I want to scream. I want to have you back, lady. But I can't be mad, and I can't have you back. So instead, in my wildest dreams, I dream your soul burst into a trillion specks of stardust that night. That you float and glimmer across the expanse of the universe, shimmering, gaining a trillion points of perspective. And that when your cosmic dust settles again, you reform into a kinder world than the one you left. In reality, and in a note that does make me smile, a reality that gives me hope and reasons to believe that this new world will be okay are in front of me. In your mother and your children, and in the people who loved you and that you loved in return. I see pieces and impressions of you in front of me, and I see people you impacted for the better. And that fills me with joy and hope. I see your kindness and your intelligence, your creativity, and your free and unapologetic nature in your children. I am so thankful and filled with joy that I will be able to see parts of her grow and grow up, that you'll have adventures, that you'll fall in love, and that you will dream sweet dreams. I look forward to watching you all, and I look forward to telling you stories and anecdotes about Julie. My heart is broken in a way that can't be fixed, but this pain is a small price to have paid for what I have gained in knowing you. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how strait the gate, how charged the punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Julia, Claire, Michelle Rivard Wessel, this is my solemn and official declaration. I loved and I will always love you.
Gav's, are you still gonna speak? Okay. We just have you and Kel.
What?
Just have you and Kel. Want me up here with you?
Yeah, if you want to stay up here. I'm not usually one for speaking, so I'll keep this one short. These are my words for Julia Wessel and her mourning family. Julia was a very strong woman with a lot of cracks, and she held out for as long as she could until she could no longer. She was a mother of 5, an adoptive mother to me, and so many more. She was a teacher, a paralegal, and an unending source of encouragement for not just me. But she would always be in my corner. Yes, we had issues, and she would never fail to tell me when I was doing wrong. But she forgave me and told me she was proud. She never lost sight of who I was, even when I couldn't see what was right in front of me. I love you, Julia, and I hope you rest well. Your fight is done, but let us not give up in your memory. To Starling, Kane, Kelly, Cyrus, Reggie, and Lee, I'm eternally grateful for everything you all have done in my life, everything you have given me, all my good memories, all of the things I enjoyed doing to escape my dark childhood. Please know that I will never know any of your pain, but I wish you all the best, and I want you to know that I understand that pain. And I want you all to continue on. To everyone who felt Julia's love, and to those who were taught by her, know that she lives on in all of our hearts, and will honestly be there at 3 a.m. to wake you up and whisper in your ear, "It's Brittany, bitch." But anyway, thank you all for being here and letting me speak. I wish you all a good day. Please allow yourselves to feel sad, but smile. Remember who she was, what good she was, what good she gave, and smile. Anyway, thank you.
Cal, did you want to speak? Want me to stay up here? Or you found it too still?
Hi. I'm Kelly, Julie's oldest. Back in 1994, my mom Julie and my dad Eric got the wild idea to have a kid, and that was me. And digging through all of my mother's belongings made me realize that there was no question as to how much she loved her children, myself included. She never stopped loving us, and she's never going to stop loving us. She accomplished so much, even with all the struggles she had betting against her. She was always brilliant. Sometimes that would be her downfall, but there was never a dull moment with Mom. Ever. I tried really, really hard to find words to write down, but this is just gonna happen organically and messy, and I'm sorry. Despite what people may believe now, Mom was always a fighter. She never gave up fighting. She fought for people who didn't necessarily stand a chance without her help. She fought for her friends. She fought for her family. She fought the entire state of California. She fought multiple states multiple times. And I definitely believe that she was still fighting. I don't think that she lost her fight. I don't. My mom was always somebody that was going to do whatever it was in her power to create the best life for herself and for her kids. And that didn't always pan out. A lot of people have reached out in this time with memories of my mom and stories of my mom that she might cringe if I knew now. But one thing I wish I could tell my mom is that you don't need to feel so much guilt. She always felt so guilty that our lives, even though she wasn't able to raise me, seemed to follow the same path. And I never knew how to tell her that maybe being like you isn't such a bad thing. I don't know if she fully realized how many people are here today or with us in spirit. I don't. I know with what we struggle with sometimes, it's hard to see how many people care. I don't know if there's anything on the other side, but I do know that somewhere, somehow, she sees how many people care about her. I'd like to think she's at peace. But I also like to think she's not entirely gone, and maybe that's delusional, but as long as we keep sharing stories about her and keep her in our memory, I don't think she's ever truly gonna be gone. She was with us through amazing times and through some of the hardest times of our life. She had so many adopted kids. We've had a penchant for strays, honestly, all of us. And family isn't necessarily blood or the law or anything. It's the people that are there for you. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what to do without you, Mom. She was always there for me, even when she wasn't supposed to be. I told her things that I don't know if I'll ever tell another person for the rest of my life, and she still loved me. A lot of us confided things that we wouldn't even confide to a priest, to my mother, and she still loved all of us. And no matter what we know about circumstance or the aftermath or the pain that we feel and the pain that we are going to be watching people go through for a very long time, I feel all of us owe her the courtesy to never stop loving her too, because she never stopped loving any of us. All my mom ever wanted was to live life freely, have her loved ones close, have her bonds be even closer. And sometimes there were people who had the privilege of having her in her life that didn't necessarily deserve it. But that didn't change the impact that she had on all of us. That didn't change the mark. Some would call it a scar on the world that she's left, but I don't see it as a scar. My mom's memory is going to be a lot like glitter. You're never going to get rid of it. Ever. It's going to stick on everything. You're going to find it in the strangest times. But I like to think that no matter what, she's still going to be with us. If that's what it's going to take for me to get through this, just let me have that. I appreciate it. If she's listening right now, Mom, I've always loved you. I'll never stop loving you. I'm sorry for stressing you out so much. I'm sorry for trying to grow up so quickly, but I'll always be your Kellykins.
may never see you in person again, but the human brain has a way of making me see you everywhere, so have fun with that. There's so many things I want to say that I can't find the words for. But Rage, Cain, Star, Cyrus, Mom will never stop loving you. I see so much of her in all of you. Please never feel some type of way about that, okay? All of the good Mom had in her, she put into you. She never ran out of good. But every aspect of her that's in you is good. I love you guys. Thank you. If there's anybody that's attended that wants to share stories of Mom, or anybody that hasn't had the chance to speak, please. She, like I said, her family was always bigger than blood or the bonds of the law, so if you feel comfortable, the mic is yours.
Hello. I guess I'm one of those strays that she adopted, and there's so many more that wish they could be here and are here in spirit. I didn't know her for very long, but in the time I did, she did more for me than my family has done in my entire life. She was mom to so many kids, so many lost souls. And no matter what happened, no matter what she was going through, she was always there for everyone. She saved my life more times than I can count. I love you, Julie. We all love you, and we miss you so much. And we'll never forget you. I didn't have anything else to say. I just wanted to say that.
I'm thinking of your mom. Chante washde nape ochiuspe de mie wambadi dutuia. My name's Catherine, and I had the privilege of living next door to Julia Clare while she was in the Sycamore Street apartments. And when she came back to town, she said she was going to move in that area again, and I was really disappointed when she selected to live in a different place. Cuddle, sit. Cuddle, sit. Good girl. But I got to watch young people like this, a steady stream of them coming, I suppose all hours, because I wasn't always awake when she was giving her love to people. And I want to bear witness to what they say, because it's like that little apartment next to me just billowed with love and intelligence. Her mind and heart were incredibly balanced. I know she worked over at the law school, and I know she did a lot of action things and come up with ideas I never would have thought of. And she had fortitude to the max. She never gave up on anything that was really important. I just want to bear witness to what everyone's been saying. And I understand that she took her life on Saturday. And I just want to say that I've been in that place many times. And it gets so excruciating that you just can't stand it. And the only reason I'm still here is because of people like Julia showed up at the last second. And it must have been her time to go to a place of more peace and strength. And I love her. And I'm so glad all of you are here to pay homage to her. Oh, mitakyo oyase.
Last chance if anyone wants to say anything. Alright, people want to take turns going and grabbing. Oh, Trent, you want to. Sorry. Curdy, did you want to say something?
No, you just say that you love Gigi very much, okay? You can't talk for very long, okay, honey?
My name is Kurt, and I'm Julie's my godfather. Or, no, godmother. Sorry. But, I love her very much. She had a very good impact on me. It's pretty much all from my part. For now.
Thank you, Kane.
Alright, I think that's really it for speakers. If you haven't signed the guest book, go ahead and sign it, leave a note, whatever you want to put on there. I think we're going to either help yourself to some food, and we have a table over by the fireplace over here where you can leave a note for Mom, like as a goodbye, and then just throw it in the fire and hope it gets to her. But just go ahead and start doing that, I suppose. I appreciate you all coming. We all do.